Okay, well, new set, so time for a new draft guide. But this one's a little different because we're talking about a Wizard's First, a set, a mystery set with over 1,800 cards in it. 1,815 to be exact. So yeah, that's a bit of a crazy and chaotic set to think about. But I'm going to touch on the 179 cards you need to memorize to make sure you have a great draft experience. I'm just kidding, because the card pool is just too big. It's too random, chaotic even, to just focus on specific archetypes. You may never have a similar draft experience with this set ever. So we're going to try and just get you in the right mindset when it comes to drafting mystery booster packs. This monstrosity has been curated, carefully crafted by Wizards to be a great chaotic draft experience. And Wizards has crushed it as of late, the last, let's say, couple years with limited environments. This set's great as well in that there's a lot of good reprint value in it. So people who love Commander, there's gonna be a ton of good cards in this set for you, especially if you're a newer player, but that's kind of a secondary focus. We're here to bring some order to the chaos and give you the 5 things to keep in mind when drafting the set. Let's get into it. The first point is to know the pack makeup. Wizards has curated this set, and from Gavin's article in November of 2019, here's the makeup of each mystery booster pack. We want to remember that the sheer enormity of having 1,815 cards in the set has made it chaotic, but not weak. You can do some crazy stuff, some fun stuff, and some crazy fun, powerful stuff when drafting this set. No 2 draft experiences will be the same, but knowing that it's a curated set, having these structures to the packs, should help you have a better idea of knowing what colors are open or not in your draft pod. It also means synergy is more of a nice to have than an expectation, and I would just recommend trying to be really present in the draft, focusing on what you've already picked up and what you need to make your game plan work, because seeing a card a second time or a second copy of it is, well, let's just say, unlikely. My second point is that playables are not hard to come by, and I recommend focusing on cabs, cards that affect the board state. I also like to focus on lower curve and all the removal I can find. I haven't seen many decks struggle for win conditions or for bombs or clever, cool ways to win, but removal is something that you can almost never have too much of. Just make sure it's not all 4 and 5+ mana to cast. Having a lower curve is also something I've found to be pretty valuable in drafting this set, and having enough removal really punishes those people that built a pretty greedy deck, or with a really high mana curve, or those folks that try to get a bit too fancy and build only around those synergy combo pieces. Sticking to the fundamentals is not a bad thing. In fact, something I would recommend, especially if you're a newer player or just jumping into a mystery booster pack draft, to just see how it goes. Creatures, removal, instant speed interaction, and combat tricks, that's really what you want to focus on. That's the fundamental way to build a draft, kind of like if you're drafting a core set. Now, if you hear fundamentals and think, oh, I should just draft 2 colors, that's not the case, because my third point is don't be afraid to draft a 3rd or even 4th color in this set. Mana fixing and the ability to splash is not only available throughout the set, it can be very important if you're struggling to make ends meet and have high enough card power to stay competitive. And as we touched on, this is a curated set, so Wizards didn't just throw a whole bunch of filler cards in to get it up to 1,815 cards for no reason. They've just made a lot of really powerful paths you can go down. So instead of grabbing that mediocre playable that you may not even play if you end up staying in those colors, instead, draft the mana fixing card that can really open a door for you later on in the draft. My next point, number 4, is to know the card prices, because no one wants to hear they just passed a $20+ card after the draft is over. That's not a great thing. Plus, if you know you opened a high value card, that can help you relax and just enjoy the draft a bit more. So here's the most expensive cards, non-foil. The foils are on a completely different sheet, but these are the cards you should definitely keep an eye out for, because if you see them, you probably just want to take them, because you're either going to be able to use them in the draft and they're super powerful. Like Selvala here is just a cool card that I really need for a commander deck. I digress. But also, if you do end up grabbing it, like I said, you could probably just use it in a commander deck. These cards are powerful, or even in another format. Perforos, like the 5th version we're seeing reprinted this year. Actually, just kidding. He was in Secret Lair. Now he's here. Now these foils, again, are printed on their own sheet. So you're not going to see foil and non-foil versions of these cards, just foil versions. And again, a lot of them happen to be, at least the top ones happen to be conspiracy cards. Reaper King, my favorite commander deck that I've built. Teferi's Puzzle Box, need a copy of that for commander. But there's a lot of good cards here that if you're not aware, you probably want to know what they're worth. And then lastly, here's just all the foils. You can come to MTG Goldfish and just check out the list as the prices go up, and I'm gonna guess largely down just because of the flooding of them on the marketplace. If you have any stories of cards being passed that absolutely should not have been passed during your draft, let me know. I always enjoy hearing those stories just to share them so that people don't repeat and make the same mistake. That brings me to my 5th point, which is just have fun. Chaos drafts are about having fun. Do something different. Try some crazy 4 and 5 color fun stuff, because there's a lot of good mana fixing. There's a lot of really strong playables, and maybe you realize, hey, I just opened a really expensive card. This draft's paid for. I got the card I want. Now I can just play something I normally wouldn't. And Wizards made this set because a lot of the people that work there, that they probably work with, talk with, play with, really enjoy chaos drafts. And they figured, why not make something that brings some consistency to the chaos and that it's new and exciting every time you draft it. And from all early accounts, it sounds like Wizards crushed it. And this set's gonna force you to probably get out of your comfort zone when it comes to drafting. I guess, yeah, when it comes to just drafting. So go with it, go with that ride and just enjoy trying something different with this set. Also, if you're kind of worried about the financial piece and you think you need to invest in it right now or just buy a bunch of boxes and hoard them, this set feels very similar to Modern Horizons. To me, at least. This is kind of my opinion, but there's tons of value in it. People are really enjoying it. There's a really good first impression. The set has made a really good first impression on people, but people think the value's there. There's a lot of cards you're gonna want. So grab those boxes now before they quit printing the set. I think they're gonna print the set through the year. Like, this is a print to demand set. So don't panic buy a ton of it, but if you're going to, use my affiliate link on Card Kingdom. Thanks. But that's it for me, folks. This set is about drafting with the right mindset. And I'd say get comfortable, again, drafting outside your comfort zone. And if you want to know the prep or the cards that are worth memorizing before you sit down to draft, the more important thing, I think, would be to just memorize what are the really expensive, valuable cards that you either want to make sure you don't pass or that you need for a deck that you're trying to build that are in this set. That's probably where your time's going to be best spent because, again, there's 1,815 cards in this set. So trying to just memorize all the gold cards or whatever is probably going to be a very difficult task. And you can just spend that time doing something more fun, like actually drafting the set. Any questions, let me know down in the comments. Happy to help however I can. But thank you to my patrons. Y'all are awesome. You can sign up using the link in the description below. Thank you to Card Kingdom for sponsoring the channel. If you do want to pick up a box of this and draft with your buddies or just hold on to for a rainy day, you can pick that up using my affiliate link in the description below as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Best of luck in those drafts. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.